Yo, what's happening, world? Name's Raheem Flowers. And now we living in cybernetic Babylon. It's official. I've been saying this for years. You got Elon Musk owning about 10% of Twitter. You got these rapping ass niggas out here talking about crypto and Bitcoin and Lil Baby investing in the metaverse and putting all his liquid cash into cryptocurrency. You got the Federal Reserve looking to create their own digital dollar when this was supposed to escape the whole fiat currency. And then, what do we have on top of that? We have two grown ass niggas, old heads as we call these days. Old men, grown niggas, old enough to be grandpas. Hassan Campbell and Wack100. This looked like Mike Tyson and Janad Hopkins getting in a fight with each other the other year. And we all know who Don King would be. It'd be the Vermin, Livingston. DJ Academics. Let's take the DJ out, his name. So you got two dudes who are less than 3 decades away from a cane getting into an argument with each other over words, allegations, and just overall hearsay, bullshit like that. And I think to myself, there was 3 black men in the mix and a pale-skinned Latino snitch. You had Ratatouille in there, Takaki. So Academics has his Off the Record podcast where Hassan Campbell, Takaki, and Wack100 were in a room together. And if you were to compare the podcast, and if you look at the thumbnails, compare it to the aftermath of the podcast, you would have thought that these were just two completely different people. Because how could you be cordial in one moment and then you get hostile in the next moment and you talking about, we already know about Hassan Campbell and Tommy already, and I gotta give credit to where credit's due. Tommy decimated Hassan Campbell. Ain't no getting around it. On Clubhouse. And then Hassan looking to pull a reverse psychology on Wack100. You're like, this nigga Wack argues for sport. It's like this nigga is into the argumentative Olympics. That's what he's into. He just looks to argue with people just to argue with them. Whether it's a bunch of cholo gangsters, Latino gangsters, whether it's a bunch of black hood niggas and black gangsters, a bunch of cholos. He will just argue down back and forth to anybody. I'm like, damn, you could tell that this is nothing but a provocateur. That's what Suge Knight's chauffeur. Let me just say Suge's chauffeur. I remember when he was talking a whole bunch of shit about Suge. Talking about, I can't really fuck with Suge like how I used to. Man, who would want to fuck with you in the first place? You are a shifty motherfucker, Wack. It is very evident. How could you sit here and really be in a room with Daniel Hernandez, La Rata, as they would say in Spanish? How could you be there with the rat? And it's like y'all are cordial with each other. It's like you just trying to look at him like you just trying to give him game as your successor with the Bloods. But we already know the situation with Shadi and Takaki. But in spite of that, you still give him a pass like that. This is why all these rappers who are claiming to be Bloods, This is why a lot of, and I ain't even trying to disrespect the Bloods and the Pyrus, but this is why a lot of y'all get L's. Y'all get L's because of niggas like Wack100. Y'all get L's because of niggas like Game. You get L's because of dudes like Lil Wayne. You get well, let me not even say Nick Cannon, even though Nick Cannon's father was legitimately a leader of the factions of a Bloods, but y'all get L's because you guys have these dudes representing y'all. It's just like here in Chicago with all these drill rappers and you having all these dudes who are BDs, everybody claiming BD. Nobody was claiming BD until what, 2012, 2013? Nobody even knew what a Black Disciple was. If you weren't from Chicago or if you were not deeply immersed in gang history or in the Midwest, you probably didn't even know what a Black Disciple, or certain places down south, you didn't even know what a BD was, a Black Disciple. You didn't even know who David Barksdale was. You didn't know all these other dudes and the history with the BGDs, Black Gangster Disciples, and let you hear these niggas talk like they know this shit, saying on 300, on BD, BDN. Like, I'm like, y'all talk about 63rd because you heard King Von say it, but you don't know anything about the South Side of Chicago and anything about Inglewood. And I'm from Chicago, and I wouldn't step in that motherfucker all casually. But yeah, you just have a bunch of posers. Not a word I hear people use these days often, but just a bunch of posers talking. Or as the kids say these days, capping. Man, look. This is exactly why black men, this is why we fall short. Because if a dude like Wack100, if Suge Knight's chauffeur is supposed to be one of our elders, then we are definitely a lost group of people. When dudes like Hassan Campbell are going to be seen as OGs, we are definitely a lost group of people. I see too many reports on Sky News. I see too many reports on Fair Observer. If I go on Gossip, if you go on World Star, you see a bunch of bullshit just like this. And then we just keep going viral over what? Fuckery.